Hi there, it's yet another day. I'm going through my beloved tarots for 2023, and I'm going to show you the Grand Tarot Boleyn. This is a deck that I was using for the Drop 'em 78, and I will link Esther's channel down below, and you can read about that. So I was kind of using this as a study deck this year because it is one of the decks that I wanted to study this year, and I used it for the Drop 'em 78 challenge, and I didn't do the challenge exactly as I was supposed to, because you were supposed to only use this deck and this deck only, and then a clarifying deck. But I ended up going to Hawaii in the whole middle of the challenge and was there for quite a while. So I'm from there, but so I didn't bring it because it is a rare deck and I didn't want to bring it with me. So I kind of tried to catch up when I got back, but I did bring other decks, and I did use other decks, and I've used other decks the whole time. I don't seem to be able to just use one deck for very long nowadays. Maybe I can do it for a month, but I get kind of bored now because I'm so used to using so many decks at a time. So anyway, I have been studying this. It is not the easiest deck to learn because it follows the Terra method, and I wasn't as familiar with that system. But I mean, it doesn't just follow that though. It uses other systems, so it's kind of crazy. But anyway, it was a much loved deck this year, and definitely one I played with a lot. And there's a lot of decks that I have that are not going to be in this video, and this is part. I'm probably going to divide this video up into different. This is the Fantastical Tarot, so I'll show you this while I'm talking. This is one of my early decks. I got it in the 90s and absolutely fell in love with it. It was my favorite deck at the time when I got it, and for quite a few years after I got it. And I've shown this a bunch on my channel, and I think now since then, like, some other people got into it this year, which is kind of cool. One of my favorite lovers cards ever. Anyway, I will probably divide this video up into some different sections. Maybe I should just say that at the beginning, because I think otherwise it'll just be too long. Doesn't mean I don't love my other decks. It's just this is, these are the decks that I really was enjoying playing with this year, and there were a lot of them. And I haven't narrowed it down to, oh, my favorite 5 decks of the year or anything. I'm just showing decks that I love playing with this year. And some of my decks that I absolutely love didn't get played with at all this year, because that happens when you have a lot of decks, because you can't use everything. But anyway, this is still a deck that I am in love with. It's kind of funny. I did stop using it for about more than 10 years. Then I came back to it because I thought I was done with it. And then, but I kept it. And then I came back to it and just fell in love with it all over again. It's kind of funny because I never thought about getting rid of it, but I just had it kind of on the back burner and was using other things for quite a few years. Now I love it again. All right, next I'll show you the Desert Illuminations Tarot. I didn't get this deck this year, but I ended up playing with it quite a bit this year, and it is definitely a deck that I enjoy and love to use. It's something I tend to use more in the summer, especially the early summer. But what a fun deck this is. Just crazy. I think this is coming out in a mass market form pretty soon, I think. There is another edition that's borderless. I do have it. But I end up loving this deck with the borders. And this version has some different cards, like that card changes, and some of the cards change, and I was used to this card changes, I think. I was used to the original version of this, so it just so happens that this card changes, that I end up using this one just way more. It's so funny. Just way more than I do the newer version. I thought I would use the newer version more. I use it once in a while, especially when I want to pair something that the borderless version goes better with. But very fun deck, and very exciting that it's coming out mass market. I think the mass market version will be the borderless version. That was the second edition of this deck. So that is the Desert Illuminations Tarot by Lindsay Williams. Really, really fun deck, and exciting to have that available to anybody who wants it. All right, next I will show you the Vetta Tarot, one of my all-time favorite decks of cards. It's an Illuminations deck, and I'm sure you've seen this one. It's been all over the place this year, but it is just a absolutely gorgeous deck, and has been a favorite of mine and will remain a favorite. It was funny, I was at Tarot Symposium earlier this year, and somebody had a bag, and they had the pictures on the bag, and they didn't know what it was. And I told them where it came from. But, and I was saying, oh, you should get the deck, because they were saying they loved the tarot cards on the bag, but they never could figure out what it was. And I saw them in line when I was getting coffee. So now they know what the deck is, and hopefully they got the deck. But definitely a favorite of mine. I can't imagine going a year without using this one. Absolutely love it. So that is, I'll show you the card. It's the 1893 Vetta. Vetta, I think is how you say it. Okay. Another very favorite, one of my very, very favorite decks of all time, the Stunning Tarot by Unasa. I've shown this a million times, but here it is again. Just an absolutely gorgeous, beautiful deck. Very witchy. I think maybe I didn't get to the second part of, or the third part of my witchy decks, because I was going to show this on my witchy decks, but I think I didn't do the second part. Anyway, here it is, a very witchy deck. The purple especially is pretty witchy. There's mermaids, there's Egyptian culture, the yellows are the more Egyptian style deck, which fits in well with tarot, right? There's a bunch of different versions of this deck out there. This one's the first edition. I think I've shown the second edition a bunch. It's small. And then the third edition is similar to the first, but now I think there's a one, I'll show it sometime, where it's longer and narrow. All right, Stunning Tarot by Unasa Tarot. And another favorite, the Unasa Tarot. And I'm going to show you two versions because well, for right now, I don't know where my other version. Oh, here it is. This is, which edition is this? This is the 7th edition. And this is, I think this is the 4th edition. And I'm going to show you both because the colors are always different in them. So the thing I like about this is it's got these matte edges and it's linen cardstock now and it shuffles like a dream. And the thing I love about this version is look how small it is compared to the new version, and it shuffles great. And in addition, those are the backs on, I think this is the 4th. It could be the 2nd. Gosh, now I've got them all mixed up. You know what? This is the 2nd edition because the 2nd edition is the one I always use. It comes in the black box. Yep, it's the 2nd. I remember now because I don't have the 3rd, which is the white box, and then I have everything from then on. This is the 7th with the green backs. So I like this because the linen cardstock, but I love the color on this. But this 7th edition, the colors are really beautiful too. And the greens are really cool on it. The 5th edition was green and it's really like springtime oriented. Like, it reminds me of when everything's just starting to bloom again. And I liked the maroons on this one too. But this one just has kind of brighter colors. The 2nd edition has my favorite color scheme of it. But I do really like the 7th edition. It is a really pretty version. They're all cool. You know, I love them all. And the backs on each one are always different. And they shuffle surprisingly well for being as long and skinny as they are. But they are great shufflers. So that is the Unasa Tarot. Two versions of it. All right, another favorite is the Oak, Ash, and Thorn Tarot. I think this is a favorite of a lot of people's. Who doesn't love this deck? I usually spend more time with this deck in the fall and winter, but it is, you could use it any time of year for sure. It reminds me a little bit of the fall here. It's just gorgeous. And at first I wasn't super into animal decks. I do have a lot of them, but this is a special deck. And I absolutely love it. It's easy to read with too. It just all makes sense. I have the dragon deck too. I didn't use the dragon deck as much this year, weirdly. I love it. I'm going to use it more next year. So this is the Oak, Ash, and Thorn by Three Trees Tarot. Absolutely beautiful deck. This is the first edition. There's a second edition that's, I think, maybe it's lighter brown. And then, I think, I don't know what edition they're on right now. All right, next was a deck I used a lot for fun. I'm not going to say the names of the cards. I got this in California from a friend at the beginning of the year. And I've enjoyed this so much. It's been a favorite for me this year. It is such a funny deck. It definitely goes its own way. But, oh, it's great. And, you know, it may be that not everybody's in love with this one. But for me, I had so much fun with it. And I'm still having fun with it. Plan on using it a lot in 2024. It's so retro and funny. It's just a funny, funny deck. I like their take on things. It is different. It reads differently. But, wow. What a creation it was. It is, you know, just unique. A totally unique deck. I have nothing like it. Your friend, the Popo. It just cracks me up. Anyway, I love this deck. Can you tell? All right. This, oh, did I say what it was? It's the Lame Hype Tarot. I think it's on Etsy. I had never seen it when I got it from my friend. I don't know. I don't see it much. Anyway. It is very, very fun for me. And it just cracks me up. Okay, next. Tarot de Marseille, of Marseille by Pichi. This is Vincent. He has a channel called Tarot Map, and he makes decks. These are the backs, and his decks are absolutely beautiful. I love the colors in this deck, the greens and the blacks. They're gorgeous. His decks are just really nice cardstock. They're available on Make Playing Cards or from him. Look at the blacks on that. So this has been just one that I just carry around sometimes this year. It's really fun. I love it. I am going to get another one of his decks next year. But I was just enjoying this one. And if you buy from him, he'll sign them. And I think they're still available from him. But I love it. It's a favorite. Type 2. In case you were wondering if it's type 1 or type 2. That is the Terra of Marseille. And you can just look it up. His name is Tarot Maps. His channel is Tarot Maps. Okay, a favorite this year, Page of Cats. I got this, maybe it was last year, I think. Maybe it was the year before, off Make Playing Cards. Oh, it's such a cute deck. And sometimes I love my cat decks. And I really loved using this one this year. Because it's real cats. It's just photos of cats. But it was just fun. And the cats are so cute. That's the Hermit. 9 of Wands. Queen of Pentacles. 5 of Cups. Looking outside at the rain. 2 of Swords. 7 of Cups. 6 of Swords. Getting ready to leave on the ferry. So it was just a fun deck to use. And look at that. the Fool is just such a cute kitten. Look at the 9 of Cups. He's got it made. The 3 of Cups with their buddies. And what a sweet Sun card, right? The Devil. Anyway, 6 of Cups, reminiscing. This was just really fun. And it's called Page of Cups. And it's just, I think it's still on Make Playing Cards. I haven't looked this year, but I think, well, it's the same person that makes Naturescapes. So you can find it. Oh, look at the Chariot. Isn't that a cool Chariot? Temperance. Look at the Page of Pentacles. Anyway, I just think this is an adorable deck. Queen of Swords. And I enjoyed it a lot this year and had a lot of fun with it. So, I mean, I'm pretty into cat decks. I'm pretty into cats, so probably not that surprising. I have a lot of cat decks. Sometime I should probably just do a video on all my cat decks. I know that's not everybody's thing. For me, it's a lot of fun. All right, I'll show you the Rune Tarot. Oh, what a beautiful deck. My goodness. This mass market. Low scare bail. I showed this in my Nordic decks, so if you watched that video. It's beautiful. I think it's my prettiest northern deck, Norse deck. I have a lot of Norse decks. There's a lot of them out there. But this one, I really love. It's got a lot of male energy, and I don't have as many decks with male energy, so it's kind of fun. I just think it's beautiful. Same creator as Heaven and Earth. Same team. The guidebook is a little bit better in this one, in my opinion, because it has more explanation of things. I used both Heaven and Earth and this quite a bit this year, but I don't know. I just really love this deck. I just think it's really, isn't that a cool 3 of Wands? Look at the Queen of Cups. The moon. What a cool moon. 4 of Swords. Temperance. And they have runes in the deck. They use different runic systems depending on if you're in the majors or what suit you're in. Look at the High Priestess. Beautiful Empress. I don't know. I love the 2 of Swords. Awesome Star. The Chariots, Freya. I mean, it's just cool. To me, it is. Look at that Strength card. And wow, the Fates is the Wheel of Fortune. Ooh, I love that. And yeah, there's other cards, but the depictions in this are, I think they're stunning. I love this deck. It was one of my favorites. Okay. And I know I have a lot of favorites, but I'm not trying to narrow it down too much. Just showing you what I like. I'll show you, this is Madame Lydia's. I used this one, believe it or not, a lot in December. So it's Madame Lydia Wilhelmina's Tarot of Monsters and the Macabre and Autumn Scenes. I didn't get to this in October as much as I would have liked because I had so many decks I was using. So I used this a lot in my December readings. And I paired it with a very fun new oracle that I'll show later when I do my favorite oracles of the year. Well, actually, I'll probably show it to you in my December wrap-up if I do it. But for now, I'm just showing you this deck. And I think it's never totally out of print. It comes and goes, and she does a batch at a time. So you can always get it. You just have to kind of keep your eye out. It's got that cool collage vintage art. Well done in this one. It is a favorite of mine every year, but because of some of the pairings this year, I liked it even more. In December, I kind of just took a batch of decks and kind of rotated them all in and out. I just used a specific amount of decks and then paired them with different oracles on different days and kind of rotated my decks in and out. Now, I'm going to show you my Tarot de Budapest. This was a really fun deck this year. I have a bunch of these. They're great. It's Tarot Sheet Revival. They always come with some extra cards. This is really tiny and it's fun to use. And they always come in these wrappers, like the traditional ones. These are reproductions, of course. This is a really fun one, and I enjoyed it. It's just red and yellow, and tan and, black. Beautiful deck. So this is a favorite this year. This is the first edition of it. I think there might be a second edition now. Also, I love going to Budapest. One of my favorite cities in the whole world. This is a special one. Love this deck. It's a major arcana. It's the Arcana Fiabici. It's an Illuminations deck. It's a majors only. It's a fairy tale majors only deck. I'm going to use this one next year. But it was a favorite this year. I don't use a ton of majors only, but every once in a while I'll use them for specific readings. And you don't need a majors only. You can just pull the majors out of any deck, but this one's really fun. I have a few majors onlys. I enjoy them. That's the box. It's available in the second edition. Tarot of the Vampires by Charles Harrington. Illustrated by Craig Mayer. This was a favorite this year. That's the guidebook. I wasn't sure because I used my Tarot of Vampires a lot by Anne Daniels. But I wasn't sure where this would fit in, but I love it. And now I have formed quite a connection with it, and will probably keep it in my collection forever. It's well done, and the art's cool, and I just enjoy this deck. It's a mass market deck, easy to get. Very well done. And I think I showed this in my spooky deck collection. I've played with it quite a bit since then. Anyway, it's really cool. Lilith as the Empress is something that I think right at the beginning made me just think, okay, that is just awesome. It's got some frightening. Look at the Six of Swords, though. Isn't that just cool? Look at the Nine of Cups. Six of Wands, friggin' awesome. It's got some frightful things in it, but it's supposed to be, right? It's a vampire deck, so expect to see that. Okay. Anyway, this made it into my cool vampire decks that I'm going to keep. Another one I've played with a lot this year, it's definitely always one of my favorite decks, is the Margaret Peterson Tarot. And, you know, this comes in and out of my practice depending on the year. This year, I played with it a lot because I got this, and I probably got it last year, but I ended up using it a lot this year because of the beautiful burgundy borders. And this came out a long time ago with burgundy borders in the German edition, I think it was. And then the white edition came out that had white borders. They were actually kind of like white with a touch of gray. And then these are the backs. And then I had trimmed that version down. And then this version came out. So I got this version, but this is an amazing deck. And there's always things that you see more as you play with it more. Like here we have the dragon with the moon phases, and then we have the body here, and it just, sometimes you can just find things that you never saw before in the deck. And you can see it different ways when you have different readings. And it's a really powerful deck. Really well done. Beautiful art. And it's got a little guidebook that comes in it, and it's not super long, but it's actually really good. So it's a really fun deck. It's not probably not a beginner deck, but when you know the cards pretty well, it's a pretty fun deck to pick up and use. I would say it's like you could use it one step beyond beginner. I mean, if you were really into it, you could also start with it, but it's just a pretty unusual, cool deck. And I don't have anything like this either. Just think it's really fun. And I always love reading with it. It gives me really great readings. So that is the Margaret Peterson Tarot. This is the UK AGM version, which is the one I think that's out right now. I don't know if the white one's still out or not. It could be. Just not 100% sure. Okay. Next, another favorite has been the Dark Goddess Tarot. It's a Ellen Lorenzi Prince deck, and it's big from Baba Studios because it matches the pattern on the back, so I just thought it was fun. But I got it in gray because the gray matches the box. So anyway, I just thought this was a great match. So this, you can read it like a tarot, because it is a tarot deck, but you can also use it to pick a card and work with the goddess. But I love her art and her decks. It shuffles pretty well. It is a little long, but this is also available as a mass market deck. This is the indie version of the deck. I got to see her speak at Newt's, or Northwest Tarot Symposium, this year, and she's amazing. I really appreciate everything she does, puts out. She lives in Oregon, so it's kind of cool. Anyway, this is just a special deck with a lot of depth to it. And the guidebook on the mass market version is very good. The guidebook that comes with the indie version is really small, but the guidebook with the mass market version has a lot of depth to it. So a very fun deck to work with. And I love that it includes Pele. I showed you the Pele card, but there it is. I'm from Hawaii, so Pele is very important, especially on the Big Island. So Dark Goddess Tarot by Ellen Lorenzi Prince. A surprise for me this year was Zekas Arana. This was a deck that I backed on Kickstarter and got a huge tapestry with, and it's really cool. And then I got a picture. I think they're too big for me to show you right now. But anyway, it's really fun. I like the art because it's so unusual, but this, like the Boudica Tarot, has been for me. And so this has just been a fun, delightful deck. And it's got this beautiful pink edging on it. And it's just kind of wacko, but it's wacko in a really good way. And it's just been a fun deck to use, and I think it's got a lot of use because it has read really well. Even though it is, like, out there. And also, I think because it's so unique, there's nothing like it. Never seen anything like this. And it is still available. It's an indie deck, though. But I think it reads really good. It's very unusual. But it has been a lot of fun. This made my honorable mentions. I think it was Maj decks. And it wasn't in my top 10, but it was probably in my top 12. And it has remained there for the year. This is the tapestry I got. It was funny. Sometime I'll try and show it. It's pretty big, so it's hard to show on. Well, I could do it from a different perspective. Anyway, fun deck, and something I really enjoyed this year. Obviously, I use Tarot Vampires a lot. I'm not going to show it because you've already seen it. Showed it a bunch. Okay, Rosebud Tarot. I played with this one a lot this year. This was a Kickstarter that I backed. When I saw this, I was so excited. This is by Diana Rose Harper and Amanda Stillwell. I can't remember if I got this. I think I got it last year, but I used it a lot this year. This deck's on linen cardstock. It came with a bunch of cool stickers. I love the stickers that came with it. I think I got an extra one when I backed it for one of my friends. Sometimes I give tarots out as birthday presents. When I saw it, I immediately wanted to back it. It was so great. And I love it. It'll be a favorite every year, I think. It's just gorgeous deck. Very fun. And I'm sure you've seen it. Now it's mass market. And I don't know if it's out as a mass. I think it is. I think it's out as a mass market deck. If not, it's going to be out soon. But honestly, I haven't kept track. Because I have this one. It is slippery a little bit, but it's great card stack. Shuffle's great. It's just a great deck. I think the mass market one's supposed to be really good too. So, Rosebud Tarot. Actually, I think I've seen people talking about the mass market one, but that could have been the India. Could be wrong. All right, next deck, Terra of the Moon Garden. This is my trim copy. I have multiple versions of this deck. I think, where's my, oh, somewhere. I have a guidebook for it, but I won't show that right now. So, this, I got it in the 90s, but it's still available as a mass market deck. Actually, now that I think about it, this version isn't available. There's a new edition coming out that's borderless. And so this had big white borders. I don't know where my bordered edition is. Or otherwise, I'd showed you that. Maybe if I find it later, I'll post that right behind this. But I had trimmed this. It still has the watermark on it, but this is a very unicorn, fairy-oriented deck. And it's just soft and gorgeous. I'm actually excited to see what the new edition is going to look like next year. It comes out, I think, at the beginning of next year. So that'll be fun to see. I think it might be very similar, maybe even having the blue borders, and maybe it just doesn't have the white borders around. Anyway, I pre-ordered it, so I'll show it at some point. But this is a very fun deck and something I've had a long time, something I really love and enjoy, and I use it pretty much every year. It's always in my favorites. And it's mass market, so you can get it soon. All right, that is Terra of a Moon Garden. It's been around. I'm sure everybody's seen it by now. All right, so another newer deck. I keep it in this little bag because the box was huge. So here's the guidebook, and it's Boudica's Tarot of Earthly Delights Reader's Companion. And the book is actually really good, and it has photographs are in color, or the pictures of the cards are in color. And so let's look at the deck. I think, was it November or December? Anyway, I used it was part of my December collection that I used and paired with a bunch of other things, and it paired really nicely with some of my decks. And it uses that old style art. This is just a very fun deck. It reads great, it shuffles great, the guidebook's great. It is just a fun deck, and I am not 100% sure the connection to the goddess, because that I don't see a lot in this deck, but it is definitely a really fun deck. And look at Paris, the tower. How cool is that? That's the tower. Just superbly done. And it's kind of odd. Like, look, the Emperor has an asparagus head. I mean, come on. It's just great. It reads really well. I've gotten great readings from it. So I was really glad I picked it as part of my December decks. I will definitely keep using this one. It's a special deck. I got this one the other day. Oh, that one's upside down. Krista has done a walkthrough of this deck. And I don't know, sure, maybe she talks about the connection to the goddess. Because I don't know that I see that in the cards that much. Okay. Anyway, great deck. I think I'm going to pause for now. I'm getting towards the end of my favorite decks, and I think I'm going to end this and do another section later. Thanks for watching. See ya.